Look it to me. Cheese. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Horror and Coffee. Gentlemen, raise your mugs to freedom. No, this isn't Hamilton. This is Horror and Coffee, and I have here as my guests Alex Figueroa from Levels of Geek, and which is another YouTube channel, and I have Jamel Lopez, the guy from Jedi versus the Dark Side. Not only a Facebook page, but now officially a YouTube channel. Congratulations on your new channel, Jamel.
He's a jolly good fellow.
And a happy anniversary to Alex.
Dude.
It's his wedding anniversary, right?
Yes, sir.
The wife.
Yes, it is.
How come you're celebrating it here with us, idiots? What's going on?
Because she's in her job right now.
Oh,
She's in the
okay,
ER.
okay.
She's in the hospital doing her thing.
Well,
So,
you know,
sir.
Angelina, if you're out there seeing this, happy anniversary to you and Alex. I hope you guys have an incredible, great time. You know what's funny? Here's the irony.
And many more.
Here's the irony, though. I don't know if you guys made the connection yet. The last time the three of us got together was for the Friday the 13th one, and it was Jamel's wedding anniversary that day.
oh, that's right.
Right?
Look at that. Yeah.
So
So
that-
the next time we're together is on your anniversary.
I know. I gotta wait till. Actually, I'm not gonna be here. It's actually in a few weeks. August 9th is my wedding anniversary. But the
Where are you
problem
gonna be?
is we're gonna be in Puerto Rico.
So you're gonna do broadcast live from Puerto Rico.
You know what? Who knows? I'll bring my laptop with me. Let's see if I can pull that off. I could try. I'll be in the hotel room real late at night. Like, guys, listen, nobody knows I'm here, but I'm gonna be sneaking around with this thing.
I was going to be here in the Coqui.
I know.
Yeah.
It'll be wouldn't that be a great horror movie? The Attack of the Coquis.
Yeah,
Oh,
there
I
you
am
go.
so gonna make you see a guy with cookies all over him, and he's like running around trying to beat him up.
Yeah, that'd be that funny.
Oh, yeah, and
But
they're
you gotta play
everywhere,
the
so you don't know where they're
Spanish
coming.
music, though. Every time it attacks and swarms, it plays like.
It plays like salsa, you know, and that'll be good. Get away. No. Here's the.
Run in Spanish.
This is a psycho. It's psychologically damning if you think about it, because then what will happen is the coquis, that you hear them when you're in Puerto Rico. If any of you have never been there, you go there at night, you hear them all over the place, right? They make the sound, right? But they're happening everywhere at once. So in a horror movie like that, you won't know where they're coming from. You'll be surrounded. You'll be like, make it stop. Make it go away. I'm telling you, man, I got an imagination in here. It can work. We're gonna make the Attack of the
It
Coquis.
could work, but you know what? We're not here for that. What
We're
are
not
we
here for that.
Ralph?
We are here to talk about our top five alien moments. Yes, I'm talking about the alien. I'm talking about our beloved Xenomorph creature from the Alien franchise. And we have so many experiences and so many things about the Xenomorph. And from my recollection, based on what I've seen in movie history already at this point, there have been about 3, if I'm correct, 3 incarnations of this franchise, of the whole concept of the Xenomorph. The first one is the obvious ones that run from 1979's Alien that Ridley Scott made all the way through Alien Resurrection. There's an unbroken thread between those 4. And then the second line is the whole Alien versus Predator storyline, which I am so glad it's gone. They did 2 of those, and that was it. Thank God. And then of course there's the prequels, Prometheus and Covenant. So we're gonna pull out of all of those, really, because we've all seen these movies, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so yes, Jamel.
Unfortunately.
Yep.
Yes.
Did you say unfortunately, Alex?
Yes, unfortunately. But yes, we did.
Yeah, what's funny? It's admittingly some of these movies bombed big time, and one of the hardest things to swallow when it comes to a franchise like this is that you cannot really know how much something bombs until you actually go and see it yourself. It's just how it is, you know.
My
But-
theater was mad empty for the newer films. It
Really?
was really empty.
Oh, okay.
Really? For the last one?
Yeah. For Covenant, I think Covenant was the last one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was like, it was me, my wife, like 3 other people in front, and that's it. That was the whole theater opening day.
Well, you know what the funny thing
in
about
the
it
morning.
is that you're not going to get a large crowd like opening day if it lands on, like, say, during the week. Usually the majority of the people that come to see the films are like Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. You know, that's when you get the bigger crowds.
Yeah, I guess.
I don't know.
But still, it's with the name of Alien, you should have a crowd.
Right.
Like, even like, look at all these other horror icons that the minute they come out, even Halloween, the reboot, the
Right.
theater was just packed when I was there in the morning and all the way to whatever. So it got to be, again, the way you market. I always say is the way you market the movie, because Covenant and Prometheus wasn't marketed well enough to get people going to the theater. And it's sad to say, I mean, it had potential, but it's really hard for a generation like ours that never grew up like where we grew up watching Aliens 1 and 2, which were the 2 best ones of the series. If they never seen it, how you going to bring them to the theater? You're going, from the director of Alien, and people are going to be like, what the hell is that? Like,
I agree.
Where Halloween did its best was they brought back Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah.
And people know her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they rewatched it, so.
For the third time.
For the third time. I think that one of the biggest things that makes Alien, the Alien series, like I think of the first one, right? The original 1979 Ridley Scott film. And I did a retro review of that film a little while back, a couple months ago. And I'll put the thing up here so people could check it out later if they want. But one of the things I remember saying was that Alien was to sci-fi horror that The Exorcist was for supernatural horror. It did something different. I mean, when you think of Alien, the first film, the first thing you think about is that Chessbuster scene, right?
Yeah.
Everybody's eating dinner, and then they're not eating dinner. All of a sudden, they're trying to hold this guy down, and it's not because he has a bellyache. So, as a result, yeah. So, and that messed up a lot of people in the theaters. They were like, oh, my God, they never saw something like that before. So, and that's what I want to talk about. But before we do that, I want to share, and, I want to see if you guys can remember off the cuff a particular Alien memory that's tied to your experience as a person. Kind of like, like seeing it in the theater or seeing it at home. Did something special happen at that moment? Was it a special day? Did you have an argument with somebody? Something, Or like, what was so special, a memorable Alien moment for you? I'm not talking about your favorite scene. I'm talking about, like...
Your favorite one? Like,
your favorite moment. Your like how we did the Friday the 13th one that we all shared the first time we saw Alien Friday the 13th in the theater and that kind of stuff. Something like that, like our experience. Can you all think of something? If not, that's okay, because sometimes
I have something, but it relates to my favorite scene. Seeing it for the first
That's okay.
time.
That's okay.
And I think that's what Jamel was going with. I think
really?
Favorite.
Okay.
Because his favorite moment was the Queen. You just cut him off.
Sorry, I thought you were. I'm sorry.
I mean,
it's a little bit.
I started with the first time I saw an Aliens film was Aliens 2.
Okay.
Aliens.
Yeah.
And on that day, it was raining like hell. And it was at night, and I was at my house with my parents, and all of a sudden we're coming towards that scene where Ripley and the aliens about to battle. All of a sudden you hear this loud lightning strike, and it's like, what the hell? And then all of a sudden you just hear the you know, and I was like, oh.
Wait,
and
was this in the theater or in the house?
No, in my house.
Oh, in your house, okay.
In my house. So it was crazy, you know, and I had like popcorn on my hands. Like you know the mixing bowls?
Yes.
Yeah.
You know those metal mixing bowls? I had
Yes.
like popcorn there, and then my sister being behind me watching the film scared the hell out of me with the lightning struck, and then I swung the popcorn. Instead of hitting the popcorn, I swung the bowl and ended up hitting my pops on the top of the head.
Oh my God! And then he gave you bow bow.
No. So yeah, that was my favorite moment. It always takes me back to that point in time.
Holy God! Okay, Alex.
That's pretty good. Mine was, surprisingly, is when they came out with the special edition Blu-ray set where they introduced the extended cuts.
Yes,
all of
I
four
have
of them.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. Now it seems like the anthology or something. It was
Yeah.
called Alien Anthology.
Yeah. I know it. I have it.
So it was. I haven't seen Alien. When I tell you Aliens, I haven't seen that one in a long time. Prior to buying the Blu-ray.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So me and my wife, well, at the time with a girlfriend, we went and we brought it. She wanted to see the whole thing. But I was like, no, if we're going to watch this whole thing, we're going to watch it the extended cut. Because I'm not playing with this whole theater cut because I never seen the extended cut.
Okay.
But it's crazy because I seen it once as a kid. So I don't remember most of the stuff while rewatching it again. But it's always the scene when when they're locked in the room and the alien comes through the top. I don't know why. And like when they're coming through the ceiling, when they barricade everything.
Oh, you're talking about Aliens. Okay, yes, part two.
And I always forget about the scene. And I'm always like dumbfounded. I'm just like, oh, no, man. And then when she opens it, you see them crawling. I always get goosebumps. I always get goosebumps. And my wife starts like, but then I've seen it once. And I'm seeing it again. I'm like, and that's the thing. It's like, of course, there's a lot of scenes in that movie mode, which we're going to go through. It's great. But it's just that one specific scene always gives me goosebumps. Because technically, they locked themselves in the room. Where else can they come from?
I like
and you see the thing pinging everywhere, and then she looks up, and I was like, oh, my God, don't tell me. And then it's like, you see them all like, hey!
They're like, hey, surprise.
Yeah. If you see it, she opens it, right?
Yeah. Actually, it's Hicks that opens it.
Yeah, Hicks opens it, and he says, give me the flashlight. And when he puts the flashlight, you see one turn. He's like, hey! Anyway, but I thought, to me, that is a moment that I always enjoyed because, to this day, even if I pop it on, that I still catch goosebumps, even knowing what happens to it. But what happens in your moment, my friend? My moment? It's a series of moments, again. You see, the biggest thing I have is, it's funny, and it all comes down to the same movie. And it goes to show you how much of an impact it made on us. Aliens. Same thing for me. I'm talking about the summer of 1986. Yeah. Valentine Movie Theater on Fordham Road. Again, Fordham Road. God, Ralph, you on Fordham Road. Yeah. That's where I used to go see all my movies. It was either at the Paradise Theater or at the RKO or at the Valentine. And they were playing Aliens in the Valentine Theater. And my friends and I, who lived around my grandmother's block at the time, we went to see it. And we loved it so much, we found ourselves going to see it 8 times that summer. Damn.
Yeah.
You paid somebody's salary.
Yeah, we made James.
How much were the tickets back then?
God, man. No. How much?
$5.
Yeah, something like that. Maybe 5, 6, something like that.
Yeah, it was really cheap back then in the
yeah,
80s.
yeah. Inflation.
Back then,
at that time, we were like, I remember my friend Jose would be like, "Yo, let's go see Alien again, man," and we're like, "Yeah," we would go. And what's crazy, the main reason why we wanted to see it over and over again that summer was, not only was the movie that good, not only was it that amazing, we had a kick out of seeing the audience's reaction each time.
Yeah.
Each time. Like it was a horror movie. I know it's sci-fi and action and all that, but overall it was hard. People were jumping. You know, like the part you were talking about, Alex, about the roof thing when they were, hey, people screamed. The people lost their minds. And
I bet you when Newt was in the water and the thing was back slow motion
forget about it. Yeah. Oh,
that
God.
gives me goosebumps, too. That is a perfectly shot scene.
Everybody lost their mind on that one, Alex. You know what's crazy? You know, I remember one particular time of those 8 that were there, and there was a girl sitting next to my friend Jose who was jumping at everything, right? And he went, like any little thing. And so she was like, she was real jittery. Like the whole thing was scary to her. So he goes to me, "Rob, watch this. You know what time it is?" She was like, I'm sorry. And we were like, it was so funny. Oh, man. I was 17 years old. It was so much fun. That was a great summer for me. You know, I felt happy. I was in a happy, good place. I was entering my senior year in high school, and it was just a great time. Aliens has this thing about it, you know, and what's crazy is that when I saw the first film, I saw it with my father at home on TV when I was a little younger than that. I was like maybe 11 or something like that. And he was, and he loved it. And I'll never forget his reaction when at the very end, that when Ripley was able to, you know, get the alien out of the airlock on the lifeboat ship at the end of the first Alien film and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I never saw my father enjoy a movie so much. That was great. So yeah, those are our moments. But let's talk about our most top 5, which will probably come up again. The stuff we mentioned, which is fine.
Which would be Aliens too, like mostly everything.
I know, right? Pretty much. No, I have other films in my list here. I do. And I'm going to get into that.
Considering Alien and Predators?
Yeah. Because there's xenomorphs. Remember, there were in 3 incarnations here. And the ones that hold true to me are the first one, obviously the first 4 films, and the prequels. Now, I know a lot of people give crap to the prequels a lot. I get it. But I happen to like the prequels, so I'm putting them in. So what is your... All right, let's start with you, Jamel. What is your number 5 favorite Alien franchise scene?
My number 5 is the iconic Chessbuster scene.
Okay, there you go.
You know, we're both...
Tell us about it.
Well, I mean... Not only was it a good scene, but it was also lose your lunch scene if you're watching it while you eat. You know? So it's not like something that you want to eat, have lunch or have dinner and watch that film. So
who wants spaghetti?
That's right. They ate meatloaf and spaghetti, right?
He was eating. I think he was eating spaghetti.
No, he was eating spaghetti, but everyone else had like different type of meats. Like they were eating different like meals, like the final meal before they go back in their hibernation sleep.
I know they did a parody scene of that from Spaceballs. I
Yes,
don't know if you guys remember that.
Yes, they had the same guy. The same guy.
Yeah. The same guy.
Hurt. Or what's his name? Hurt something. I forgot his first name.
Yeah.
He passed away actually several years ago.
Yeah.
John Hurt. John Hurt. That's it. Yeah. He was He was in Spaceballs real quick, and it was the same idea. You know, he was on the floor. He was like, no, forget the water. Get him some Pepto-Bismol. And he's like, oh, no, not again. And he passes out. And the alien does, hello, my baby. Hello, buddy. Hello. Oh, God. That was, you know, it's like, dang, you just took away the seriousness of that moment. Like, sometimes there are moments when I can't help but think of that now in conjunction with the original scene. But whatever. You know. Alex, what's yours? What's your number 5?
My number 5, I'm gonna start from my least favorite to my favorite for you. My number 1, and my number 5 is 2004 Alien versus Predator. When Predator and Alien meets for the first time, when he grabs him with the. Remember when he grabbed him and he goes beep beep beep, and all of a sudden he was at like all these gadgets, and I'm like, this is gonna be an epic movie, and then I went nosedive.
Oh yeah, that was horrible.
Went really bad.
That went really. Oh God, I remember being in the theater for that. I went to the movies with Sandy. She was my girlfriend at the time. Oh wait, 2004.
Yes.
Well, we were already married actually, and we went to see it, and it was the same result. It was like, oh God. It was bad.
It was me, my friend Pablo, my friend Calito. It was a bunch of us, Carmine.
Yeah.
We were all in the theater, and when the movie started, we were like, oh, wow, this got premise. And we keep watching. I'm like, yeah, this is all right. All right, this is cool. And then we all went, what the hell? When the Predator starts talking to the girl, like in sign language. Remember when he ripped the head off? And he's like, yeah. And she goes, what is that, a shield? And then he takes the acid, and then you can see that it covered. And I went, this is bad. And then when they started writing together.
Yeah. Yes.
Up the pyramid. Like, I said, this is over, man. We were laughing so hard, the theater just started laughing. And then they did the Batman and Robin moment. They all started running in slow motion. With the blast behind them, they're like, pip, 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 pip.
That's right, because the alien queen was chasing them, right?
Huh?
The queen alien was chasing them, if I'm right.
No, that's when they ignited the explosion. They thought they killed it. Remember, they ignited that whole, and they started riding that like an elevator, but he shot it, so it started slingshotting them out while the fire's behind them, and then all of a sudden they just started running, and it was like, and then they did the throw. They were like, oh, I was like, this is bad, man.
Yeah.
But to me, that's still an iconic moment because you never got the two big franchise characters in one movie.
Well, what's interesting about that is that they're as far back as the release of Aliens in the mid-'80s, there was always an affiliation between the two. In comic book form, there was this connection between the Predator and the Aliens. The idea actually was, when I first heard of it, was, and my friend Jose was the one who told me about it, was that the aliens were used as kind of like what you call that, practice for younger predators. They used them to okay, go happy hunting, son. You know, that kind of thing. I don't know what this is called, but I remember that, and I remember the scene in Predator 2 with Danny Glover, when he goes inside the Predator ship and you see all the different skulls of the different creatures from other planets, and one of them is a Xenomorph skull. So I was like, oh my goodness, that's where it really connected for me, because I recognized it. So
yeah.
All right. Who?
You go.
Oh, I go. Okay. Sorry.
He's like, who goes? Oh, wait, me.
All right, my number 5. My number 5 is Ripley's sacrifice. I'm talking about Alien 3. I'm talking about the end of Alien 3, when she knew she had this thing growing inside her. She had a queen. I don't know how the heck she was able to identify that damn thing as a queen. Right? It's like, yeah, I'm carrying a queen. It's like, how do you know that? Have you ever carried one before? Like, I never understood.
She felt it in her heart, man.
She felt it in my heart. It's a queen. It's a queen.
She felt it.
And when the company came to the prison planet to acquire her, and remember the bishop guy that looked just like Bishop.
Yes.
Yeah, remember that? He was like, "We're gonna take that out of you."
I think Alex just.
I'm sorry, Alex. You
Oh my
okay?
God.
Coffee went up your nose. I'm so sorry.
Yes, you were. You're going to extract it.
Yeah, remember it was like that dramatic hand gesture. We're gonna take it from you. You know, like and she was like, "Are you sure I'm gonna be okay?" It's like,
Alex?
"You just got. How am I sure you're not gonna use it for your bioweapons? You're gonna have to trust me." And she wouldn't. So she sealed out. She went, and I said, I remember being in the theater. It was 1993, and I was like, no, 92. I'm sorry, and I was like, oh my God, is she really gonna do it? Is she really gonna die? And she died, and I was like, no. But I thought it was an honorable death because as she was going down, you see the Queen Alien finally pop out of her chest. And she's kind of like cradling it like a baby. She's holding it as she goes down into the flames. And what bugged me out about that was that even though it saddened me that her character died in that movie, I also at the same time respected the nobility of her sacrifice. It was a sacrifice. She did not want the company to get their hands on this thing because she knew the destruction it would happen back at home, you know? You know, she knew the company's naivety of this creature, about how they think they can control it. That ain't gonna happen, and she knew it. She knew it from the beginning. So yeah, Ripley's sacrifice. That's my number 5. Let's go to number 4. What's your number 4, Jamel?
My number 4 is from Alien 3.
Okay, same movie.
Dr. Clemens' death.
Oh, yeah. Tell me about that. Yeah.
Are familiar with that scene?
Yeah.
Where Dr. Clemens is telling Ripley about, her condition and everything, and all of a sudden, when he's about to tell her more, the alien just comes and kills him right in front of her, and that's the scene where it's like, warning, personal space, where the alien just goes right into really mad close to Ripley's
real
face.
close. He was like.
Yeah.
He was like that. Like that. Yeah.
I've never seen so much saliva come out of that alien in my life.
And it bugged you out at that because at that moment you didn't know why it didn't kill her. Why didn't it kill her? Right?
I have no idea.
But then we found out later that she was carrying the queen inside her, and it knew that. So that's why it wouldn't lay a hand on her.
It had a smell to aroma.
You know what's sad? I really liked that character too. That was a cool dude. I liked it. He was mad calm. He was like the calmest character in the whole thing. He was like the prison doctor or whatever, and he's sitting there like this at the desk. And the leader of the prison captain is like, "I'm gonna cut you in half if you keep effing with me." And he was like, "I'm sorry, I don't know if I understand." And I bugged out. I was like, damn, this guy's cool. I like that. I want to be like him. It's true. He was a good guy.
All right, so my number 4 is Prometheus 2012, and it's the scene that I think you got to help me here, Ralph. Is it the Exomorph came in Prometheus, right? At the end, when that guy who played, what's his name? Jesse Smith. What the guy who got beat up by the 2 guys and he faked it with the Subway sandwich? The actor.
What are you talking about? Subway sandwich?
What's his name? You know what I'm talking about, right?
No.
The guy from Empire. The actor. He was in the Aliens Covenant.
Wait. Prometheus or Covenant?
I'm trying to think. I don't know which one he's in. It's that scene though when the alien eats him in the bathroom.
Oh, you're talking about the actor that plays Jamal.
Wait, you talking about the guy that was with the girl in the shower?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's Covenant.
That's Covenant. Okay,
That's
my bad.
Covenant.
That was one of my biggest moments because I was like, it felt like an alien movie. Yeah. That scene.
That scene made it feel like it was an alien movie then.
Yeah, it made me feel aliens because it was shot very Alien. You see it creeping on the side, and then you see the two people making love in the bathroom, and then you're like, oh my God. And then what happened? He went, shh, hing, 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 hing.
Right?
It
was
goes
pretty
back
much.
to the sex scene.
It was a psycho.
Yeah.
It was a psycho moment. No,
but yeah, that was my scene.
I liked how his second mouth went right through the guy. It went boom. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, like that scene was pretty cool. But yeah, so okay, Alien Covenant, yeah.
Alien Covenant.
Yeah, Alien Covenant. Yeah.
You heard?
Not
What?
That scene was high on testosterone.
High on testosterone.
That's why it went through.
Yeah. Those things are strong.
Yeah, for real. Jamel, you already shared yours, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I did.
My number 4 was from, funny enough, Alien versus Predator, the Aztec tomb scene.
Oh, when it turns into like different pieces of the puzzle, like every 10 minutes?
Yeah, it was so Indiana Jones, but at the same time, that was when they were bringing the whole team and everything. And they had the same guy who played Bishop as Mr. Yutani or Wayland, Mr. Wayland.
No, Wayland, yeah. He owned it.
Yeah, he owned it.
Jesus,
That's
Wayland.
why it's a different incarnation, because that's obviously a different Mr. Wayland than from the prequels. But my thing about it was that when they went inside the tomb, the Aztec not Aztec, what was it? It was up in the Antarctic or something like that, right?
No, it was underground.
But it was still in the Antarctic. It was under the ice.
Yeah.
And what they found was that it was like a Mayan temple or an Aztec temple, and they apparently had a set of rituals. They this whole points to the whole historically accurate notion of how they used to do as part of their worship to the sun, the moon, and the stars, or whatever gods they worshiped, human sacrifices. You've heard that. Who saw Apocalypto? Did any of you guys saw Apocalypto? Mel Gibson's. If you watch Apocalypto that Mel Gibson made, you're gonna see the whole same concept there, and that is something that is historically accurate. They used to rip out people's hearts. They used to kill them, and as a sacrifice to whatever god, I'm not sure what that was. And and they would offer up their body parts, their hearts particularly. So doing what they did in that temple, the idea that they sacrificed them by offering it up to the predators. The predators were the ones that kind of supervised the whole thing, made it happen. They had the people set up these rituals, and they were sacrificing to the predators. It was weird. They had a queen alien in the lower area, just laying the eggs, and the eggs will come up into the temple in this like thing, and then whoever would sacrifice themselves would lay on the stone slabs, and then the eggs would hatch, and then the facehuggers would do their thing.
A lot of electricity.
Yeah, it bugged me out. I was like, wow.
Well, the cool thing about it, I mean, look, yes, the movie stunk.
Yeah.
But a lot of good things came out of it that I was like very interested, was the fact that was the Predators' hunting ground.
Yeah.
The minute that's how they became warriors. They had to go through trials, and if they died, they died, and if they won, they give them the mark of whatever.
Yeah.
Or like they get to like, and I thought that was pretty cool. And I'm not gonna say because it's another scene that I favor, but yeah, you're right. I think that the pyramid scene of the only thing about the movie again that gets me so stupid, like it's just like so dumb, is the freaking that the humans was reading the hieroglyphic. Remember when the guy came in?
Yeah.
And he didn't know like exactly what it was, but then all of a sudden he started reading it like he knew everything. And then all of a sudden when the pyramids kept changing, he was like, well, every 10 minutes it's going to happen. And I was like, what? Come on.
Well, it hadn't happened for thousands of years, apparently. Everything's been dormant until they came in and interrupted the whole thing. He's like, You know how sweet fresh meat.
Until the stupid humans decides to grab the predator weapons, everything got reactivated.
Yeah, I remember that. Don't touch that.
I said, don't do it.
Don't
Arnold's
do it.
not gonna like that.
Arnold, you'd be like, do it down. Put it down now.
Those are my cookies.
Exactly.
Put down my cookies now.
Do it.
I'm gonna have me some fun.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have me some fun.
Good golly, Miss Molly. Right? Like they.
Oh my God.
But, no,
That's
but
my favorite
but
line.
yeah, that's the best part, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, so what's your number threes? Let's get to the threes.
Yeah. Jamel, what's your number 3, bro? Alex.
All right.
Alex is
My
like,
number
come on, let's go
3
before
is,
Ralph gets cut off again. Go ahead.
My number 3 is from Prometheus.
Okay.
And it's the opening scene with the engineer's sacrifice. I'm telling you, that scene, I mean, you can't get any better CGI than that. I swear. You see
No, it
the
looked
guy,
good though.
the engineer all brolic and everything.
He was
Yeah.
buff.
Arnold Schwarzenegger could play him.
Not
So-
the Arnold Schwarzenegger that's alive
But
now.
But I can tell you what, when the engineer drank whatever that was,
Yeah, that was the black goo.
I kind of figured that was the acid that the aliens had,
No, that's not what it was, but okay.
right? And drank it, and all of a sudden he was like, oh, he just devoured, and all of a sudden you just see him
Uh-oh.
fall apart in seconds.
I remember.
Wasn't he the perfect being? He was the
He's
perfect
supposed
being.
to be the perfect
right?
being, yeah.
Ralph?
Well,
he was the perfect being?
I don't know if he was a perfect being or not. It seemed like it was something ritualistic. They again, it goes to the whole point of self-sacrifice. He
Right.
sacrificed himself, and he drank the substance. I have every reason to believe that that's the same substance that we see later on in the movie, in the canisters, the black goo,
Yes.
the biological weapon,
Right.
because something in there kind of does something with the genetic structure of anything. Hence the origin of the xenomorph. This guy drinks it and he just disintegrated. But
Right.
that's what gave rise to the human race. That's the premise of Prometheus, that it gave rise to us. So you see Elizabeth Shaw and her husband trying to figure this out, right? And then they go on that quest to that planet to, based on the ancient writings from different cultures and everything like that. If you saw early in the movie, this is where they are, this is where the coordinates are. And they go to see, we're going to see our creators. We're going to meet the ones who made us. We're going to find out why. And then it gets into the more deeper, darker situation that they didn't want us around anymore. So they were intending on sending this black substance to Earth to destroy us. Biological
the engineers
weapon.
hated humans, didn't he?
They hated, they resented, they made them. They made them. But they didn't hate. I mean, I don't know if hate is the right word. More like resentment, it seemed. They didn't like how we turned out, apparently. I guess because of all the wars and we're all killing each other all the time and we're being jerks and everything like that.
Like we doing now.
Yeah, kind of like what we're doing now. Well, guess what? They ended up, not being able to do it because of the sacrifice of the Prometheus crashing into the derelict ship. I loved how the derelict ship showed up later on in the movie. Like, oh my God, they were inside the derelict ship the whole time. We just didn't see it because it was underground. So that was pretty cool. So, yeah, totally. My number 3 is, wait, who went first? Oh,
Jamel.
Alex, you're next.
Alex.
I am next? No, I thought it was you.
No, it's you. It's
Oh,
me,
okay.
then
All
you,
right.
then Ralph.
Okay, yeah. All right, fine. Well, let me. Number 3 would be Aliens 1.
Tell me.
When you find out Ash is a robot.
Oh.
That freaked me out, man. When he started spilling the white stuff when I was a kid, I was like, oh, what is that? And he's like, and then the guy is beating him, and I'm like, oh my God. And he grabs him by the tit, and he's like, oh! Remember that? When he grabs the guy, he goes like this, and he's just like, oh!
I remember that.
He gave him a purple nipple. He went,
I remember that. Oh my God, I remember that. That was bad.
That was bad. And then he's spinning everywhere. He's like, and then, I mean, you know what? I gotta say though, for its time, I still think even in the newer version, the 4K makes this movie looks phenomenal on 4K.
Are all
When
the
Ash on the table, and she goes, zzz, zzz, and then he goes, and then she's like, my mission was to, yeah, and then he's like, so nasty thinking about it, all that milk coming down his mouth. I was like, oh. I thought it was great, man. I thought it was a great scene.
The
Honestly,
perfect, yeah.
The perfect organism?
Yes, that's what he said.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that perfect. I got nighttime. But then it happened again in part 2. Remember with that bishop?
Yeah.
With the robot. She goes, I don't trust him. And then he came and saved her.
Yeah, he turned out to like really pull through at the end of it. Yeah, everybody, she was definitely keeping her eye out on Bishop because of that experience.
In the kitchen, she get the F away from me.
She knocked the tray out. I guess she didn't like the cornbread either.
Yeah, he was like, what? All those models had a defective. Like, right? We had like a defective something.
Did you see the Terminator connection there? Cyberdyne Systems. That's what Burke said. Was it an older model? Yeah, Cyberdyne something. I was like, Cyberdyne, wait a minute. Do eat.
Yeah, but I thought, look, Ash, go ahead, Ralph, before you get cut off.
Oh, okay. We're having connection problems. That's the problem, folks. David's intentions. That's my number 3.
Okay.
What I mean by that is in Covenant, his intentions become very clear. Now, they had a series of prologue scenes that they put out on the internet before the release of the movie, where they show his journey in space with Elizabeth, as Elizabeth kind of put him back together. Because if you remember at the end of Prometheus, that engineer dude like ripped him in pieces. And all that was left was like the head part, and the body was over there. So Elizabeth had to kind of like put him back together.
She should have never did it.
She should have never done it because his intentions, finally, as a robot, this is the robot again, right? Again with the robot. And I see where Ridley Scott was going with this. The idea is that he wanted to be like his father, Mr. Wayland, Mr. Peter Wayland. He wanted to be a creator. And he wanted to create the perfect organism. He brings it up himself in Covenant. And he used he used Elizabeth Shaw's body as a lab. He killed her. He kills her. Mm-hmm. And he uses her body as a means of creating all these experiments, doing all these experiments with the black goo. Okay? Now, and you see all these different versions of the creature in his little lab. But then here's the part that gets me. I love this. Have you guys seen that in the extra features of Covenant, David's laboratory, and he talks about what he was trying to do when he really gets into it? Have you seen that?
I seen the movie once.
No. If you see this thing, you will be like, oh my God. Like you really see his intent. Like the Xenomorph that we saw finally in Alien Covenant was only a proto version of what we're familiar with. It was the first of its kind. Really, literally. Okay? That's why it cancels out, Alien versus Predator, because Alien versus Predator takes place in our modern time. This is far in the future, which means that in this time and age, doesn't exist yet, right? So David creates this thing on this planet. And he finally gets it right. So he shows that the captain of the Covenant, the room with all the eggs. And he's like, it's perfectly safe. Just take a look. Why don't you look? And I was sitting there like, are you effing kidding me?
Oh, no, that was in the theater.
That was in the theater, but that's not. But what I'm talking about is that there is an extra. I'm going to send you the link, Alex, so you can check it out. It's like about 6 minutes long, something like that, where David talks about how he's got everything he needs. He just needs one more thing. His queen. He says that. And you know what you see at the end? You see the girl, Daniels, the main girl in Covenant, asleep. Remember how we put her out when she realized it was David instead of Walter? She was like, oh, no. She was trying to get out of the freaking thing. He was like, shh, don't let the bed bugs bite. Remember that? And he put her to sleep. And then he goes and puts the little face huggers in their embryonic stage, this big, in the thing with the other human embryos or whatever. Remember that at the very end of the movie?
Yeah.
In that extra scene called David's Laboratory, he talks about how he's going to use Daniels, the girl, to create his queen. I was like, oh, so that's how that's going to connect. I bugged out. I was like, oh, I like this. I see how Ridley Scott, okay, all right, there was a queen. I didn't create the freaking queen. This guy did. James Cameron. Okay, so let me see how I can make the link. So I thought that was great. That's why I pray to God they do make a third film. A third and final film.
Well,
I know they keep going back and forth. They're gonna make it. They're not gonna make it. They're talking about it. They're not talking about it.
Now that Disney wants to reboot it because Disney owns the franchise.
I don't want them to reboot anything. I want them to finish what was started with Prometheus and Covenant. I don't want them to reboot. I hate rebooting. Rebooting sucks.
If they were gonna continue it, I think the next part was gonna be Aliens Awakening or something like that.
It was gonna be called something like that. That it was gonna connect to the original '79 film. Okay. So my number. Okay, that was my number 3. So what is Jamel? What is your number 2?
My number 2 is from Alien vs. Predator, and it's the history of the Predator being on Earth.
Tell me.
The whole history of how the Predators knew that the alien creature, and it goes back to what Alex was saying about the pyramid and the whole history of it.
Oh, the Aztec tomb that I mentioned earlier.
Yeah, the Aztec tomb that you mentioned earlier. How the Predators were revered as warriors, gods.
Yes.
And they used human subjects to
as sacrifices.
Sacrifice to bring the aliens to life.
Yes.
So I thought that was cool.
I liked it. I like that part. Again, it lends to the mythology of the whole Alien versus Predator storyline. I don't completely buy it anymore because I like to keep them separate in my head.
Right.
Because as you saw from those 2 films that came out, Alien versus Predator and then AVP Requiem, it was kind of like, yeah, this ain't going anywhere. This is horrible. horrible. What's your number 2, Alex?
My number 2 is Aliens. When you see the Queen send all of her pawns in, and all the machines are getting losing all the ammo because she just keeps sending them because she knows sooner or later they're gonna test it out. And they get scared that the machines lose all the ammo, so they all go back. Remember in the hallway when they set up the automatic turrets in Aliens? They put the turrets outside the door.
Yeah.
And they had 500 bullets, rounds, and then she just keeps sending all the pawn aliens in.
You know what you're talking about? That's interesting, Alex. I like what you're saying. What you're talking about, what you're mentioning, is not in the movie cut. You're talking about the director's cut.
Oh, okay, yeah.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
fine.
I'm sorry.
No, don't be. That's fine. That counts. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's my favorite scene. She just keeps sending them, and you see 500 rounds, 400 rounds. 300 rounds, 200 rounds. He's like, how many of these are gonna count, man? That was rest in peace, my man Paxton. Bill Paxton.
Well, that didn't happen. That came later on in the movie, actually.
Yeah, but you see these bullets.
You see that scene. Yeah, it's funny. It's fun. Like I said, that was a part of the director's cut, not the original theatrical cut. And I failed to mention that. My David's Intention thing was actually an extra feature as opposed to being in the movie itself. Though you do see it in the movie too, when David shares his intentions with the captain, then later with Daniels herself when she was like, what did you do to her when she sees Elizabeth Shaw's body? And he's like, exactly what I'm going to do to you. And he grabs her. So that's how it connects. But yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Wow.
I mean, Covenant, I remember watching Covenant in the theater, and I wanted to punch Ridley Scott in the face.
Oh,
because
why? I like it.
Because I hate movies that is so obvious. Like, if you're a human, you're gonna just shoot. You're not gonna wait there and let the bad guy go, hey, look in the egg, and the guy goes.
I have to admit that is stupid.
You know what I mean? And then he goes, "Oh, come with me to the back." And then what she does, she goes with him in the back, and I'm like, "But this is not." I'm like, "What human is going to do it? Like, no one does that." Like,
no, you're right. You're right.
You're gonna walk into a guy's laboratory. You're gonna see dead body parts everywhere, and you mean to tell me you're really gonna walk with the guy into another section of his laboratory? Like, no.
One of his crew members was dead, the head floating in the water.
Yeah,
there. I get it.
I would have shot him. Like, I told him, that's my wife in the theater. I would have shot him from here to oblivion, and then ask questions afterwards.
Yeah.
Come on, I was just like, that hurt. To be honest with you, I thought the movie was okay until that scene, and that scene for me hurt the whole movie.
That was what did it, huh?
Yeah, because I was like, come on, you make the humans more dumber than a doorknob now. Like,
that's true. I have to admit that is a weak link for the flick.
Yeah, it's very weak. It's like, wait a minute, like someone had a really bad writing. Like, they were like, how can we do the scene? Yeah, we're gonna have to make the humans dumb. And like, okay.
I would have just created a different situation so that he wouldn't have seen it coming. That's what I would have done.
No, you would have did was, what I would have done is keep the same scene. She walks in, but instead of walking into that area, she walks into the other area that he wanted to see her go in, with the eggs and everything.
Right, she would have gotten the
she would have got. Then you do the whole thing, him explaining everything.
Yeah, that makes more sense. What the heck are these people thinking? You're right, Alex.
Did it that way, and then the other guys come in shooting up the whole place, because that's what they did anyway. Because they were like, "Hey, what the F happened here?"
Yeah.
So that's what I would have. I just would have flip flopped it, but
you're right. That does make better sense. I still like the movie, but you're right, and I'm gonna always think of that now. Thanks, Alex. Thanks for putting that in my head.
You are welcome.
I say that with a resentful voice now. Damn it! I'm kidding.
I have destroyed the movie for you.
You have destroyed the movie for me. I am not happy right now. Okay. Where did the Russians come involved in this? Okay. My number 2 is what I call "I Got Your Back." You know what I speak of, right? Okay.
I got your back.
This is Alien Covenant. This is Alien Covenant when we see the Xenomorphs for the first time.
Okay.
When this guy's the captain's wife and her assistant is out taking samples, and he you see the little microbe of the black goo float into his ear, go inside his system, and within a matter of moments he's like
oh yeah, is that the scene that it gets very dramatic? She's like, open the damn door.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hello, you know the protocol, like why,
the quarantine. She's trying to follow quarantine protocol procedures.
But do you notice? And that's the thing that always again, and I know, Ralph, me and you always have our debates on movies and stuff, and you go, oh, but you nitpick. That is again a generic storyline in every Aliens movie. What happened in Aliens 1? Sigourney Weaver did not want to open the containment unit for the guy that got the face hugger in his face. Remember that?
Yeah, I remember.
And they were like, open the damn door. She goes, no, that is not the problem.
No, but Ash did that. Well, but Ash had his reasons.
Remember, no, but again, that is the first movie to bring that in.
Yeah.
Then we got the second movie, which what happened? They were testing whatever the second movie happened, but then that Alien Covenant did the same thing as the first one, and I was just like, oh, we just saw this again, ugh. And then she called her every name in the book. Then she slapped the bejesus out of her in front of everybody. And I was just like,
you're talking about the first Alien?
No, the second one. Remember, she slapped her when he died.
What do you mean she slapped?
Remember when the guy was doing all the shaking?
Yeah.
And she was like, open the thing, and then he just died right there. He just went kaputs.
Well, he died because the creature came out of his back.
Yeah, but then when they survived that whole thing, she gave him the tate quieto smack.
She gave the creature a tate
No, she gave the woman, Daniels or whoever the hell hit the
Daniels
button.
wasn't there.
Who's the lady that hit the thing that says, you know, she was doing the whole
A quarantine thing?
Yeah.
She was still on the outside, and when she went inside, finally went inside to try to shoot it. She brought a weapon.
Yeah.
And then by this point, the creature was on the floor. The Xenomorph was on the floor, like that, right? And they went after the girl that was stuck in there with her. She was with a knife. Get away! And it just started like ripping her apart. And then the other woman came in, and she tried to like help, but she slipped on the guy's blood.
That's right.
She hit
That
the
was
floor, and the Xenomorph went, oh. And I got noticed that. More people. And it chased her. And then it chased her down the corridor, cracked through the glass of the door. She shut the door, it cracked through the glass. It chased her. She shot at it, but then she hit the wrong thing, and the whole ship blew up.
Yes, that's true. Yeah, that's what. I'm sorry, I mixed up with the
And
first
the little
you're
creature,
right.
and you're thinking about when Lambert slapped down Ripley because of them keeping them in there a little while longer.
She
That's
slapped
what,
the
and
bejesus out of her,
again,
man.
and that is from the director's cut, not the original theatrical cut.
Okay, see again. I prefer the director's cut.
I get that. I get you mentioned it earlier.
And you did say that in the beginning too.
Yeah,
you said it in the
I prefer
beginning.
the director's cut over the theater cut.
Yeah.
I mean, it's rare for me to say that because sometimes I be like, I don't like the director's cut, but if for some reason, Alien, the whole trilogy and everything, even 3 and 4, were better with the director's cuts. I think it adds more to the story, and you can enjoy it more.
You know what's funny? I have the director's cut of Alien Resurrection, but I haven't seen it.
You would like it.
I'm gonna. You know what? I think I'm gonna go watch it tonight. What the hell?
You will like it. I like 3, and everyone didn't like 3. And
I like 3. I like
3 was
3,
good.
but when they were talking about doing a direct sequel to Aliens a couple years back, bringing back this guy Hudson and Sigourney Weaver as Ripley again, I was like, well, they're gonna ignore 3 and 4, and I was thinking in my head, okay, I'm okay with that.
That makes sense because remember Newt was dead next to her.
Right.
Like she died from the crash.
From the crash, drowned apparently. But that's 3. But I'm talking about if they were to like do a direct sequel to 2, the second film from 1986, I'd be happy with that. I'd be fine, very content. I'd be like, wow, let's do it.
I'll tell you this right now: if they do a reboot and they're doing it the way that they've been doing the reboots now and ignore 2 and on, I will get so angry because 2 is the perfect
I hope
sequel.
they don't do that. I hope they don't.
Yeah, 2 is a perfect open door sequel. Like you could take 2 and you could continue going.
Absolutely.
I'll get really mad.
Absolutely. I totally agree with you, bro.
Yeah.
All
so
right.
Go ahead.
So that was my back. I got your back. All right.
Ooh, you got the back.
Because that thing came out of him. He was shaking, his eyes rolled back. He was a mess. And then it comes out of his back, and it like broke through his freaking spine or something. It was crazy. That was dramatic crap right there. I love the music. It was so eerie in the background. Yo, I could just keep on going.
There.
It really was. Damn it.
No, it was.
Anyway.
All right, here we go. Number 1, man.
Number one alien moment. Jamel, what is your number 1?
Okay.
Watch the internet go down here. Go ahead.
My number 1 alien moment is no surprise. It's Ripley's battle with the alien queens.
Oh, yeah, you mentioned that earlier. Yes.
Yes, and it's the first time you see Sigourney Weaver with her Transformer costume.
Transformers, more than meets the eye.
Say, get away from her, you bitch!
The whole theater like erupted in applause when I saw that in the theater. Oh, people love that part. I didn't know where she was going when she went inside the room after the queen came out of the dropship.
Yeah,
but my friend Jose was next to me. Oh, I know. She's going to go get on one of those things. That thing from earlier. I was like, oh. And he was right.
I thought that little girl was going to die at some point. I was like, where the hell did she go?
But that machine, if you watch it now,
Yeah.
that machine was super slow. She was like, And the alien just stood there getting hit. It was like...
It was like this. It was like...
Yeah. It was mad slow. It was just like...
It was actually.
I was like, Jesus. But no. I mean, yeah, that's a great scene, man. That's a very good scene.
It's funny. Avatar definitely stole from that.
Well,
James Cameron. I mean, it's his stuff so screwed. But when I saw those machines in Avatar, it reminded me of that.
Yeah.
All right, Alex, what's your number one?
My number one is Aliens also, but it's not that. And it's going to be weird. And I know a lot of people are going to be like, really? It's not a scene. It's character development, and it's Ripley becoming a hero in Before Anyone's Eyes. Because you got to remember, she was chicken crap in the first movie. She was scared of everything.
Yeah.
She fought the little alien. She went away. But then if you notice, her character developed very heroically towards the ending. Like, all right, we got to do this myself. She duct tape. She learned how to put the gun together. She got the flamethrower. She's holding Newt. And she destroys all the eggs in front of the mom. And I'm like, this is what I'm talking about. Like, I thought that, look, dude, I thought that, to me, that was one of the best scenes, I think, out of all the franchise. I mean, I know a lot of people will pick the one that Jamel said, she's going against the alien queen. But I got to go with the character development. Like, you know what? She was like, shit, I got to defend myself now. Like, I got to get this girl and my cat. Because when she had to get the cat, Jinxie.
Well, that was from the first movie. The cat wasn't
was it
with.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Cat wasn't.
Yeah.
No, she said in the beginning of Aliens, she said, "You little shit, you're staying here."
Oh, that's right.
And the cat looked at her like, "Hell yeah, I'm staying here. I ain't going through that again. I'm a 57-year-old cat. My heart can't take it."
No, but yeah, so that was my favorite scene. Like, she just started wrapping herself. She got all the flares and threw the flares so she knew which way they were going back to the ship. I think it was awesome. I thought that was a very great.
That was a turning point.
Scene.
That was a turning point for her character because she became like not just the final girl. She became like Rambette.
Yeah, and it's the funny thing is it's the same thing, and it's the same thing with the Evil Dead trilogy. You watch the first Evil Dead. Bruce Campbell was he was scared of everything. He's hitting with the axe and he couldn't take it. And then by the second movie. He got the chainsaw. He was like, "Let's do this." Like, you know,
he was like, "Hey, come on, let's go."
Yeah,
We got to do that. That's gonna be our next topic: best Evil Dead moments. I'm gonna do that for you, Alex.
That was always my favorite moment. Will always be It's always Army of Darkness, man. When he's eating the grapes, and the lady becomes the witch. And he goes, "Hey, she bitch, let's dance." And she goes, and he slaps her, turns the shotgun, and goes, boom, right on face.
Oh,
and he goes,
God. Okay,
anyway,
we definitely got to have a conversation about Evil Dead.
Yeah, we'll
do one of those. Yeah, that's gonna be fun.
Yeah,
my number. That's funny. My number one is always has been my number one, was the scene, I call it Hudson's Last Stand in Aliens. Okay. When the alien, we mentioned it earlier, when they came in through the ceiling, that Hudson looked with the flashlight, and then they were like what, how is it that you did it? Hey!
Yeah, he went, hey!
Yeah. And they came through and they're like shooting everything. Everything's going. It's an all-out war at this point. Everybody's getting shot up, and you see the aliens jumping around, falling out of the ceiling, and jumping around. That was amazing.
Yeah, they jumping and they screaming.
Oh, but here's the problem.
They're like, that's all you hear. It's like, it's like, oh damn, what's wrong with the alien? He's like, man, that hurt. Like, I was like, damn.
Yeah, they kept on using that same sound effect.
Yeah.
No, but here's the thing, right? When Hudson was freaking out throughout the whole thing, right? Ever since the first battle, the first thing, Sergeant's gone, get out of here. Remember that part? Yeah. People were laughing. People were laughing in the theater. And every time he opened his mouth, people were laughing because he just couldn't take it. He's like, that's it, man. Game over, man. What are we going to do? That whole thing, right? Yeah. That's who Hudson was. But he still hung in there, and it was sad to see him go. It was sad to see him getting overtaken by the aliens. But he fought them tooth and nail at that last confrontation. He was shooting like crazy. He was like, oh, you want some right there? You want some? Oh, you want some of this?
Yeah. He's like, you want some of this? Oh, you want some too? Yeah. Like,
yo, that's funny. That part had everybody clapping and laughing in the theater. I loved that scene because it's oh, you want some too? It's as if they're going, hey, what about me?
Yeah. But that's the thing about James Cameron that he did very well with that movie.
Yeah.
Because honestly, you thought they were holding their ground until the music went pin, 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 and then it grabbed him and he was like, oh, and I was like, no.
Yes.
Yeah.
That pissed me off.
That sound when it gets like mad dramatic and you see him getting ripped down through the floor.
Yeah.
And he's still shooting. He's like, and then he's like holding on to it. Like, again, it's a James Cameron. There's something I always said is that he knows how to direct action movies very well, but he's stuck with this Avatar like part 10. Like, I'm like, dude. Yeah. You don't live forever, man. You should just start doing other projects, like action movies. Like,
I agree. Like, I don't know why he's so connected to that, but,
I mean, that's him. I mean, whatever. But, I mean, if I'm good at directing action movies, man, I'm going to be doing tons of action movies. Like, let's do this. But,
I loved
man,
it. I loved it. It was the best #1 scene, and as an honorable mention, I like to bring up the beginning, the very first shot of Alien Covenant when you see David's birth. I just wanted to throw that out there as an honorable mention. How do you feel? Alive. Yeah. It's a painting. Can you play something for me? With the piano and everything. The entry of the gods into Valhalla. A little anemic without the orchestra. That scene was amazing to me. The quality was fascinating. It definitely had the Ridley Scott cinematic eye right there on it. And I appreciated that very much. But anyway, that's an honorable mention. I don't know if you guys have any. But
honorable mention? I don't have an honorable mention.
But
oh no, you know what? I do.
Okay. What?
I do. His aliens, when everyone's getting torn apart, remember when they take away the ammo? The live action ammo?
Yeah.
And the two guys with the girl and the guy that had the actual machine guns, they switched it out. And they were like, damn it, don't do it, right? And they're all yelling at each other.
Yeah.
My favorite scene, my honorable mention, is when they go in and all the aliens drop from everywhere.
Yeah.
And they all start shooting and everything. And Ripley is telling the guy to get them out of there. He's like, oh, we're not trained for this. We're not trained for this. And she's like, God damn it, you got it. And then I was like, oh my God. And the next thing you know, she jumps, she grabs Newt, she ties her down, and then all of a sudden she starts taking the car, and then they start driving through. Which was another excellent set piece.
Yeah, it really was.
They start driving through. It was a very great, honestly, it is funny. Think about it. Out of all the movies, all our #1s was Aliens. Not Alien, not Alien 3, not Alien 4, and not the horrible Alien and Predators. Aliens is our #1s out of all of us.
It really is. It really is. It stands out amongst all of them, which makes me say, I wouldn't mind at all if they did a direct sequel to that one. And we forget about everything else. I have no problem with that. I would love to see a direct sequel to Aliens and a final third installment to the Prometheus trilogy. I just give me those two things and I'll be a happy guy. Just give me that. And I'll be like, okay, you can do whatever else you want after that. Just give me that. But I don't know. It's up in the air. They don't care about what the fans want. I swear, sometimes it feels like that.
You call it Aliens, the perfect organism. That should be like the reboot. And they take it right before. I mean, think about it. You could call it the perfect organism, because everyone knows what it is,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And then you rebooted it after 2, and then you have Sigourney Weaver come back as Ripley, and then continue her journey. But I mean, it is. I mean, it is what it is. But one thing I will say, I never covered it on my channel, is Alien in 4K is phenomenal.
I don't have it on
if you
4K.
Don't have it,
I don't have
I
it.
highly recommend it for anyone that do not have it.
I'm waiting for Aliens to
You're
come
not
out
gonna
on
get
4K.
it. You're not getting it because James Cameron has not released True Lies on Blu-ray. You ain't getting Aliens on 4K.
How
So-
can he do that to us?
They're not gonna release the whole collection on 4K.
If they do, I will be very surprised because James Cameron is very big on holding all his, for some reason, all his blockbuster hits. Titanic is not even on 4K for some reason.
Good.
Oh no, I mean, I
No,
agree
that's
with
a
you.
good movie. What are you
No,
talking
no, no,
about?
I
Titanic?
agree with you, but again, Titanic is not in 4K. True Lies is still on DVD. It's not on Blu-ray format or 4K.
I think everything is like on delay, bro. There's like a whole bunch of films are like. On
No,
delay.
this was
not
happening
that. It's-
before
he's-
all of this.
Yes,
Yeah.
he's
Yeah.
very he's very keen on his property.
Right.
Like Steven Spielberg when he
Right.
had an aneurysm about E.T. when they changed
Yeah.
something about E.T. He
Yeah.
lost his mind. He was like, "Oh hell no, you changing my movie." When they switched some scene in the movie,
Yeah.
he did it by mistake. But again, I don't know, Rob. I'm just telling you right now, man. Just get yourself Alien, the first one, and if they hypothetically talk to this guy and they really release all of them in one shot, then buy it again.
Okay.
But trust me, you will text me after seeing it, and you're gonna go, "Dude, you were right." It is super clear. It is super, like if it was shot in studios now. That's how clear it is.
Wow.
Right.
It's very good, and they give you the director's cut and the action theater cut in 4K.
Both of them in 4K.
Yeah.
Very good. Good to know. Well, guys, I'd like to thank my guests, Alex and Jamel, for joining me to have this discussion about Alien, right? The Xenomorph, the whole Alien franchise, what our favorite moments. Well, what are your favorite moments? Okay, talk to us. Comment below in this, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the bell button and the like button and any whatever buttons there are in this freaking channel, so you can just press it. All right, just press the button. But before we go, I would like Alex to plug in his Levels of Geeks, please.
Well, let
do so.
Jamel plug in his.
You're right,
his-
Jamel. Go ahead. Go ahead, Alex. Alex is so humble. Go ahead,
Yeah,
Jamel.
he is.
Go ahead.
You can find me on Facebook on The Order, Jedi versus the Dark Side, and you can also find me on YouTube, Jedi versus the Dark Side.
That's right.
There you
Make
go.
sure you subscribe to his channel. Check it out. He's got good content there. It's young and upcoming, so let's support him. Let's support Jamel here. Let's support our brother. All right, Alex.
So my channel is basically now it's switched from 4K reviews and everything. Now we're doing live streaming from Monday and Wednesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern. The community actually is actually growing at a rapid pace for some reason.
It is.
It is tons of people,
Including us,
commenting,
including
chatting.
Jamel
Yeah.
and I. We'd be up in there.
And also the best thing that we're adding also to the live streams are now we added a phone number where you get to call in just like you do in your sports radio or Z100. You get to call in and you get to send us, talk to us live on the air, whatever you feel, whatever you want to talk about anyway, through any topics of the week that we're talking. If there's a movie you hate, movie you love, you just call in. We'll talk about it on air in front of everybody. That's starting on Monday, 9 p.m. Eastern, and then I will have my Gladiator 4K out by the time this video is out anyway. But that's the newest video I'll have will be Gladiator in 4K. My review of the Steelbook will be out.
Nice.
So
And
it's Levels of Geeks on YouTube.
that's right. And don't
Jeez,
forget,
come on.
guys, if you raise your cups, don't forget horror and coffee. That's right. This channel here where you get reviews of horror movies, horror TV shows. I just put out a thing on Ares, which is a supernatural of sorts horror film, actually a horror series on Netflix. Check it out. And I have stuff on The Exorcist. I have stuff on Halloween. I have stuff on Alien. I have stuff on quite a few things. So please check out this channel. Consider subscribing. Tap on that like button. Tap on that bell button for future notifications. I almost lost my speech there. Gentlemen, it was a pleasure. It was a lot of fun doing this with you. We had some technical issues, but I think we managed to get through it. So without any further ado, this is Ralph, and this is... Say your names.
I'm Alex.
And I'm Jamel.
And this is Ralph Perez from Horror and Coffee. Keep your coffee brewed and hot and ready. Take care.